As a first step to building a good golf swing, you're going to look at the grip. The grip to a golfer is the same as the steering wheel, the accelerator and the brakes would be to a car driver. Just imagine driving a car without one of those three elements in place. Well, when we're learning the golf grip, it's just as important to learn the correct grip, otherwise you're going to be out of control. When you're going to place the two hands together, you have a choice between what we call the overlapping grip, where the little finger of the right hand fits between the first and second fingers of the left, or we could have the interlocking grip, where the little finger of the right hand interlocks between the index and the finger and the second finger of the left hand. And for people with smaller hands, it's possible to use what we call the baseball grip, where the two hands are close together but not interlocked or overlapped. Personally, I use the overlapping grip. Now, to do that, we're going to learn it left hand first on the grip, and then we're going to place the right hand together with the left. Just like the Tour Pro, you're going to be paying close attention to building an orthodox golf grip. As an exercise to build certainty in gripping the club correctly in the hand, I'd like you to mark your hands up. The first mark is an X right here, which is the first knuckle joint of the little finger of the left hand. The second mark is an X on the second knuckle joint of the index or forefinger. Now we join those two X's. Now we're going to mark this area in here. This is a pressure point area. This is the heel pad of the left hand, and it's the pressure point number 2. Another mark that's important is a pressure point where the right hand goes against the side of the left hand on this knuckle joint of the thumb, this second knuckle joint here. This is pressure point number 1. Now from here I'm going to make an X right on the top of the grip in the snuff box area, where the wrist is going to be right on top of the grip. Marking up the right hand, I want you to put an X right at the top of the lifeline here. This will be the pressure point number 1. The other mark in the right hand is I want you to mark the second knuckle joints of the middle two fingers across here. Those are going to go directly underneath the grip. So I'm going to be able to grip around with those around the grip, and that's where you want the marks in your right hand. What's going to happen is the grip of the club is going to touch the hand at this crease, this first knuckle joint of the little finger, and the club grip is going to run across the hand diagonally to touch the second knuckle joint of the index forefinger. When the club touches here, from there the fingers wrap around the grip, so there'll be no gaps between the fingers and the grip, and then the heel pad area, this fleshy part here, wedges on top of the grip. So this produces a very secure hold of the club. There'll be no gaps between the fingers and the grip, and it'll wedge underneath this heel pad. Your left thumb will be positioned on the top right hand side of the grip in a shortened condition. Because of the angle across the fingers, you'll finish up with a short thumb, which gives you good support during the swing. Looking from the front on view up close, you'll see that as the club runs across the fingers, across the hands, the left wrist needs to be bent so that as it bends, it allows the wrist to be located directly on top of the grip. This wrist is in a vertical plane of action, and the center of the wrist here would be right on top of the grip. It's not in front of the grip, and it's not behind the grip, and it's definitely not needed to be on an angle to hit the ball straight. So from there, wrapping the fingers around, you'll notice that the left thumb is positioned just behind center on the grip. It's not around here, definitely not top or on the front side. It's just behind center in a shortened condition. Looking at it from this angle, when the left hand is placed on the grip, it comes on in a neutral condition. You're not uncocked with the wrist and you're not cocked. It's in that level or neutral condition, and this makes it easy for the wrist to be able to be used freely throughout the golf swing. There will be no restrictions from this position. Looking at the right hand grip on the club, this mark here on the second knuckle joint of the middle two fingers will be placed directly underneath the grip. This will allow the fingers to wrap around. From there, when the right hand comes down, the lifeline area, this pressure point number 1 up here, will be pushed against the side of the left hand. So the right hand grips in the fingers and the hand fits down on the side before the thumb and forefinger then wrap around the grip. You'll notice that my right thumb is positioned on the top front side of the grip. It's not down the middle or behind, it's just on the front side of the grip. The forefinger wraps around so that forms a nice connection here. There's a kind of a pressure point here that you can control the club with. No gaps. And this will bring the two hands together when we grip the fingers here, not here at the base of the fingers, and definitely not up here on the tips of the fingers, but the second knuckle joint vertically underneath the grip. Wrap the fingers around, forefinger wraps around slightly, the lifeline area fits on the side of the thumb, and then thumb and forefinger wrap around to secure the right hand position. You'll notice here that the right wrist is in a vertical plane as well. It's not on an angle. It's in a vertical plane, shake hands position, neutral position. And also, when you put the right hand on the grip, the right wrist is relatively flat. There's no bend in the right wrist. When the hands are placed correctly, you'll find the back of the right wrist is flat while the left wrist will be bent.